Welcome to VRD Nation. This is the channel where we create epic content for Indian stock market traders and investors, and we explain complex stock market concepts using real life trading, case studies, animations, and whatever it takes to explain you complex concepts in a very easy to understand way. Now, this particular video is the first in the series of videos that we want to make on TradingView application. Now, TradingView is a very popular application, not just in India, but all around the world. And for a very obvious reason that it is very powerful. And the reason we want to do this in parts is to make sure that we understand each and every aspect of TradingView very, very clearly. Now, for those of you who do not know what TradingView is, it is a web-based application which is power-packed with a lot of trading functionalities which are available to traders all around the world. Now, some of you might be saying that, all right, hold up. I already have an account with Zerodha. I already have an account with Upstocks or ICICI Direct or HDFC Securities or any of these brokers. Then why do I need another application? And it is of course a very valid question, because if you're already having a platform where you can trade and you can see the charting and stuff like that, then why do you need another application to complicate your life? Well, the answer to this question is very simple. That TradingView can do much more than the broker's platform. Now, what exactly do I mean by much more? Well, just to get an idea, let's talk about some of the features which are available on TradingView. To start with, let's talk about algo trading. TradingView has been used all around the world as a web-based platform for algo trading. And not just algo trading, TradingView is also very popular for backtesting. Right? So whatever ideas that you have in terms of your setup, in terms of your strategy, and in terms of your indicators, you can put all that logic in TradingView, and within a fraction of seconds, you can see whether that idea would have worked in the past or not. It's a very powerful engine for backtesting. And not just the technical factors, TradingView is also a community where you can interact with your fellow traders and investors, right? So you can share your ideas, you can share your setups and suggestions. So we'll discuss about all the functionalities that are available in TradingView. So this is just to give you guys a sense of how TradingView is different than a broker's platform, but there is much more to TradingView than what I've just told. So the way I want to do this is I want to start with the basics, right? So this particular video is purely focused on the basics of TradingView just to get yourself going. After we are done with the basics, we will focus on the charting functionalities of TradingView. Then we will get into the alerting functionalities of TradingView, which is a very, very sophisticated way of generating alerts and sending signals to other applications. And from there, we will get down to some serious stuff like backtesting and of course, strategy creation. Right, so there is a lot of knowledge that I want to share with you guys, and you guys can use this knowledge in your practical day-to-day life. So I want to make sure that we are getting the right encouragement, we are getting the right feedback from you guys so that we are on the right track and we have the right momentum to keep this thing going. So please make sure that you are liking these videos, you are giving us feedback in the comments, you are giving us suggestions, whatever you want from TradingView, basically just bring it up and we will make sure that we'll add in the separate videos. So I want to make this thing happen. I want to make this thing right. I want to make this thing epic, right? So let's just go for it. All right, so let's get started. So when you come to TradingView for the first time, this is how the screen looks like. Now, this is a very, very busy screen. You will see a lot of information, and most of this information is just confusing. It's not relevant for you. So what I will recommend to you is just click on sign in, and it will ask you to sign in. But since you don't already have an account with TradingView, you have to sign up. So you see this button right here called sign up. We'll just click on that. And now you can sign up for the first time using either Google account, Facebook account, Twitter, Yahoo or whatever. So I already have an account with TradingView. So what I will do is I will go sign in using my Google account. All right. So now that I have signed in, you can see that my account details are shown here. I can do some profile settings and changes and stuff like that. But the thing is that we are back at the same place where we got started, right? So we see all this information and we have all these menu options. Where do we really have to go, right? So the one thing that you have to understand is that the most important aspect of TradingView by far is the charts area. They have other features, they have other functionalities that we'll touch upon a little bit later. But just like Sachin Tendulkar is known for his batting and not for opening restaurants, in the same way, TradingView is known for its functionalities in the charting area and not these other aspects. So what you have to do here is you have to click on charts, and you will be taken to this nice, beautiful place where we will be spending the rest of our time. Now, this looks like a very simple screen, right? So you have a little chart in the middle and you have some buttons here, but do not be fooled with the simplicity of this application, because what TradingView has done is that it has packed a lot of useful information in a very compact space. So what we'll do is, in order to understand exactly all these functionalities, We will break down the screen into 4 parts. Now this charting area is not something that we have to spend time on because all of us know how charts work. So the 4 areas that I'm talking about are: number 1, this top toolbar; number 2, this side toolbar; number 3, which is my favorite, the bottom toolbar; and number 4, last but not the least, the drawing toolbar. So what we'll do is, in this particular video, we will focus on the basics, that is this particular toolbar, which is how we get started. And then in the subsequent videos, we'll talk about all these functionalities here: backtesting, strategy creation, paper trading, stock screener, charting tools, and a lot more. Right? So let's get started with the basics. But before we talk about this, I will tell you guys one thing, that the plan that we are using right now is the basic plan, which is a free model. And TradingView, of course, is running a business. They are not running a charity. So of course, the free functionality that they're giving to us, they will have some limitations. And then time and time, we will be reminded about what functionalities we are missing. And they have different plans that they will mention. And we will, of course, learn as part of our demo what are the functionalities that we are missing in the basic plan. And we will see all these other areas. As far as I'm concerned, I have not taken any premium plans. I'm just running with the free plan because most of the functionalities that I need, they are already available in the basic plan. But depending on your requirement and your own usage, you can decide whether you want to upgrade or not. Now with that said, let's start with our top toolbar, and we will start with what is called as the ticker box. So when you click on this ticker box, a little symbol search screen opens up where you can search for any stock that you are looking for. So for example, if I have to look for Reliance, I will just start typing in Reliance. And we can see that Reliance stock shows up here. So if I click on Reliance, I can see that the chart of Reliance is plotted instead of the chart of TCS. But the beauty of TradingView is that you not only can see the stocks that are listed on the Indian Stock Exchange, but you can also see the stocks that are listed on other exchanges. For example, if you want to see the chart of Tesla, you just have to type Tesla and you can see the chart of Tesla. Or if you want to see the chart of Apple, you can go and you can search for Apple and so on and so forth. Now there is a very interesting functionality which a lot of people miss here. That is what you can do with this mathematical symbols. Right? So a lot of people, they don't realize what you can do with this. So I will show you guys something very interesting. So let's say, for example, Nifty. So this is the chart of Nifty, right? It's a very simple, straightforward chart. So let's say, for example, I want to compare the performance of Bank Nifty with respect to Nifty. So what I can do is I can say, okay, I want to have Bank Nifty, which is right here. I will go back here, Bank Nifty divided by Nifty. Right. So what I'm saying is I don't want to see the chart of Nifty and I don't want to see the chart of Bank Nifty. What I want to see the chart of is Bank Nifty divided by Nifty. Right. So this is what I want to see. So this is Bank Nifty. This is Nifty. So when I do this, now what I'm seeing is a ratio of Bank Nifty divided by Nifty. So what you're seeing on the scale is not the value of Bank Nifty, not the value of Nifty, rather a ratio. So now you can see the relative underperformance or outperformance of Bank Nifty. And this is just an example, by the way. You can do a lot of things. You can multiply, you can add, you can divide, you can do weighted average. I mean, this, your imagination is the limit here. You can basically play around and do whatever you want. So just play around with this. You can probably do like the performance of one sector with respect to Nifty, or probably you can chart out the performance of one stock with respect to the sector which it belongs, right? So there are a lot of things that you can do using these mathematical functions. Now the one last thing about this particular ticker box is that you don't have to necessarily go and click here. What you can do is you can just start typing, right? So I'm right here. I'm not going here. I'm right here, and I can just start typing on my keyboard TCS, and automatically the symbol search comes up, right? So you don't always have to click here and then get to the symbol search. You can just start typing wherever you are. I'm here, doesn't matter. Just start typing the symbol and automatically the symbol search comes up. Now with that said, let's move on to the next functionality on the top bar, which is the time frame. So you click on this and you can see there are a lot of different time frames. You have time frame in seconds, you have time frame in minutes, you have time frame in hours and days. So right now this is a daily chart of Infosys. But if I want to see, let's say, the weekly chart of Infosys, I can just make it as a weekly chart, or I can do the monthly chart, and so on and so forth. And if you are using some range charts, not the candlestick chart, but the range charts, you can also pick the ranges, right? So this is all that is available out here. You have so many different time frames to choose from. However, having said that, if you want to see the charts on seconds time frame, let's say, for example, 1 second, you will get this reminder that this functionality is only available in the paid plans, right? So that is what you have to be aware of. And by the way, I personally never use time frames that are in seconds, because unless you are a scalper, it doesn't make really any sense for you to see the charts on a second to second basis. So the lowest time frame that I have ever gone to is 1 minute, but most of the time either I'm sticking with the 5-minute time frame or the 10-minute time frame or even longer time frames. Now there is one more thing which is very interesting when it comes to time frame, and I can tell you from my own experience, is that so I frequently use 3 time frames. On an intraday basis, I use 3 minutes, 5 minutes and 30 minutes. And for swing trading basis, I frequently use the daily chart. So what I do is by clicking these favorites, favorites, favorites and favorites, now what I see is that they are already populated here. So I don't have to go here and I click on this every time. These are ready-made options. So if I click on 30M, I can see the 30-minute chart. If I click on 5M, I can see the 5-minute chart. If I click on 3M, I am seeing the 3-minute chart. So this is a very handy selection. By clicking on these star buttons, you can basically pre-populate them here so that you don't have to go and hit this drop down. Now, if you want to remove something from the favorites, then you can just come back here and then remove from favorites, uncheck, 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 and then you will basically go back to where you were earlier. Now, some of you might say that, okay, all right, this is good, but they are giving me these options of 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute. But let's say I don't want to analyze the chart on a 1 minute basis or 3 minute basis. I want to analyze the chart on, let's say, 4 minute basis, right? I'm different. So is there an option for me to do that? Well, there is an option. So you see at the bottom here, you have 1 minute add, right? So if I, let's say, click on 4 and I click on add, they're going to remind me one more time that you want to see the custom intervals. Well, you can, but you have to pay for it, right? So if you are that savvy that you want to see in, let's say, 2 minute interval or 4 minute interval or 7 minute interval, well, you will have to pay for it. Now let's move on to the third button, which is the type of chart. So you click on this, and this is something I'm sure a lot of you are already aware of. So this is the bar chart. You have candlesticks, you have hollow candles, right? So you have Heikin-Ashi chart. So you have line chart, area chart, right? So whatever charts that you prefer and you like to work with, you can select from here. And there's one more thing that you can do in this chart. You can basically go and make the favorites, right? So you can add them as favorites. So let's say, for example, candles or area charts, you can make them as favorites. And when I want to see the chart of Infosys in terms of area, I just will click on this area icon. And when I have to go back to the candles, I will just click on the candles and I will get this. Now, this message will keep popping up, and that's what we have to deal with. We just have to close it out, right? You just have to ignore it if you want to stick with the free plan. Now let's get to the very interesting function called compare. So when you click on compare, you are basically trying to compare the chart of that one stock with some other stocks. Infosys, for example, if I want to compare Infosys with, let's say, TCS, I can just type in TCS and I can click on this. Well, before I click on this, I have these 3 options: same percentage scale or new scale or a new pane. Right? So when I click on the same percentage scale, I can see now that I have the chart of Infosys right here. And this orange line is showing me the chart of TCS, so that I can easily compare that, okay, this is my baseline chart of Infosys, and now this is showing me that with respect to Infosys, how TCS has performed. And if you want to, let's say, add another stock in the mix, let's say Wipro. So if I add, let's say, Wipro here, now what we'll do is we will click to the same percentage scale so that we can at least see the comparison of Wipro, TCS and Infosys. And you can see that Wipro is, by the way, doing very well. After Wipro got the new CEO, Thierry Delaporte, if I'm not wrong, then the company has started giving double-digit performance, and you can see clearly that Wipro has started outperforming some of its peers. So this kind of analysis can become very easy when you are plotting several stocks at the same time. Of course, it has to be meaningful. They have to be from the same sector. Otherwise, the analysis will not be great. Now, what you can also do here is that you can change some of the colors. So for example, TCS is orange. So if you want, let's say, you can change the color from here, or you can change the style if you want to make it as candles. I do not personally like changing to some candles and stuff, because candles, they will just create more confusion. I like to stick with line, but if you want, you can do that, right? So you have TCS here, you have Wipro here, and if you want to remove something, you can always remove them from here. Now let's do one more thing in terms of comparison, that is Wipro. But instead of adding Wipro as TCS, what we'll do is we will add to the new price scale, right? So when I click on the new price scale, so now you can see that on the left hand side, I have a new scale which is telling me the price of Wipro, right? So I can see the line of Wipro just like I was seeing earlier, but now I also have a scale where I can see exactly what was the price of Wipro at that point of time. And again, let's say if I want to compare that with HCL Tech, And in HCL Tech, I do not want HCL Tech to be part of this group. I want it to go to the new pane. So when I click on the new pane, what will happen is HCL Tech, instead of getting added here, will get added in an entirely new pane, right? So this is like a small window altogether. You can pull it up, pull it down. So these are the different ways in which you can compare stocks from the same sector or the same industry. Now let's talk about a very, very important aspect of this toolbar, that is the indicators, right? So all those indicators that you are aware of, moving average, MACD, RSI, and any indicator that you can think of, you can find them here. So the way this is organized is that on the left hand side, you have different categories, right? So you have my scripts, you have built-ins, you have candlestick patterns, you have public library. So built-in indicators are those indicators which are given by TradingView and which are traditionally used. So you have moving average, for example, you have RSI, you have tons and tons of indicators which you can see from here. So for example, moving average, if I click on moving average here, I can see that moving average got added. If I click on it again, you will see that one more moving average got added. So why did I add two of them? Well, because let's say I want to have a 9-period moving average, but I also want to have, let's say, 20-day moving average and a 200-day moving average. So by clicking on this gear icon, I can change the input. So in this case, I can say that, okay, this one, I want to make it as a 20-day moving average by clicking on OK. And this one, I want to make it as a 200-day moving average, right? And I can also go back and change the colors and styles. So for 200-day moving average, traditionally speaking, I have always used the red color, which is how I have stayed consistent. So I will click on the red color. The 20-day moving average for me has always been blue, so that it's easy for me to comprehend. So I will make it blue. And the 9-period moving average, I will make it to a little bit of a greenish color. So I will keep it as green. So by looking at this, I know that this is a 200-day moving average, this is a 20-day moving average, and this is the 9-period moving average. So that is how you can add indicators. Now, sometimes you have indicators like RSI that will not be overlaid on the chart. So you can just type in RSI. You don't have to keep scrolling down. You type in RSI and you can see that it is part of the built-in indicator. So you just click on this, and right now it's giving me an error. That what it is telling me is reminding me again that right now your plan has only 3 indicators. I cannot add more than 3 indicators. So what I will have to do as of now is that I will have to delete these moving averages to make some space to just show you how I can add the RSI indicator. So now I can go back and add RSI. So I can click on RSI and it gets added right at the bottom, right? So for example, you want to change something for RSI, just come here and click on the gear icon and you can change the colors. For example, you want to make it red, or you can change the opacity for this, right? You can change the thickness. So that's how you do it. So going back to our indicators, so we saw that there are built-in indicators which are provided by TradingView, and they also have something like candlestick patterns, right? So if, let's say, for example, I want to click on all candlestick patterns. So let's see what happens. So what it does is that you see these BE, D. So these are all the candlestick patterns that TradingView has identified for you on Infosys chart. So here, for example, it's telling you that there is a bearish engulfing. Here again, they see there is a bearish engulfing. Here they saw a bullish engulfing. Here they found a doji. So this is one way for those of you who are a little bit savvy on the candlestick charts. You can go and you can ask as an indicator for TradingView to plot those candlestick patterns for you. However, if you only want certain candlestick patterns, you don't want to do all of the candlestick patterns, you can just go for, let's say, doji, or you can go for doji star, or whatever candlestick patterns that you believe they are good ones. You can just go and select from this list. Now, apart from the candlestick pattern, there is also something called as a public library. And I think this is a very good feature of TradingView, where people who have built their own indicators and strategies, they have shared them and you can see them in the list. So here, for example, this squeeze momentum indicator was made by an author named Lazy Bear, which got a lot of like. Right, so what you can do is you can actually use it if you want to, or you can read a little bit more about it by clicking on this icon. Or if you want to see the code of this particular indicator, you can also see that, right? So this is something which you can explore. I personally don't use the code from somebody else because I don't know exactly what is going on in their head. But if you want to at least get started and if you want to explore, I'm sure there is a lot more to explore here as well. Now the next one is the volume profile. Now this, even though it is available here, it's not available in the free version. You will get this kind of message that no volume profile is only available in the paid version. I don't use it, but if you want to use it, then you have to pay for it. Now there is one last thing that I want to highlight, that is that you can pick some of your favorites. Let's say Bollinger Bands, right? So Bollinger Bands are, let's say my favorite, I want to use it. So I can click on this star and I can add it as my favorite. And let's pick something else. Let's say double exponential moving average, I can make it as my favorite. So when I click on this star, they are automatically getting added to my favorites, right? So I now have a new favorite section on the top where I can see all my favorites. And if I create my own script, for example, in this particular example, we have our own script here for testing purpose, that will show up here, right? So these are the scripts that we made using the Pine editor. So this is all organized very well. So for the starters, you have to use the favorites, and once you start building your own scripts, you can find them in the My Scripts area. Now next, let's focus on the next one, which is the financials one. Now the idea behind having the financials of the company plotted on the chart is very noble, and TradingView basically is providing us the functionality of marrying technical analysis with fundamental analysis. So for example, here in this particular case, if I want to see the gross revenue or gross profit, for example, of Reliance, let's say quarterly profit, I can see that, right? So when I click on quarterly profit, let's say the total revenue here, I can see that right here. So I can see the total revenue on top. I can see the gross profit right here. So the idea is very noble. We are basically trying to see the fundamentals of the company and the technicals of the company. So any setup that is arrived by analyzing the stock on both the dimensions, they will be much more reliable. However, having said that, I think that there is some issue in terms of the data, and that is my personal objection to the financials. I think the idea is very good, but maybe the data is not so up to date. So what I did was, just for my own satisfaction, what I did was I went to Reliance and I went to the investor relations and I opened the Q3 results for Reliance just to compare the numbers, right? So I compared these numbers just to make sure that the numbers which are shown here are matching up to the numbers that are given by the company. So this is the quarter ending of December 2020, and the total income was 1,653 in lakhs, right? So, but when I came down here, the total revenue was not matching. Now, I don't know exactly what is the issue here. Maybe I'm missing something, but whenever I see any kind of discrepancy, I do not like to use the data. So in case you guys figure out why the discrepancy is, you probably can correct me in the description below. But up until that time someone corrects me, I will refrain myself from using the financials. I will rather stick to the technical functionalities available on TradingView. Now let's talk about the next functionality, which is the templates. And templates are very interesting, right? So let's say, for example, you have some indicators, right? So let's say you have a moving average. So you click on a moving average, and then you also have an RSI, right? So click on RSI. So you have a bunch of indicators here. So you have, I'm just going to close this one thing. I'm going to add RSI right here, right? So I don't want for every stock, I have to add moving average, I have to add RSI, I have to add all these lines separately. So what I can do is I can save this setting as a template, right? So I will go to templates and I can say that save indicator template, and I can give it a name, something like moving average plus RSI. I mean, there are a number of ways you can do this, but this is how you can say, and you can see that when you are saving this template, what is exactly getting saved, right? So you have, right? So you have moving average, RSI and VP, right? So you can save this so that next time you don't have to keep adding this again and again. And even if, right? So let's say, for example, I go back to TCS and I'm analyzing TCS and I delete some of these indicators. I wanted to get started, let's say blank. And for some reason, I just thought that, let's say, I'll just remove this, everything from here. Then later on, I can go back to templates and I can apply this template again. So you can see in my templates, I have MA plus RSI. All I have to do is just click on this and it will apply all those indicators on the same chart. So going back to the templates, this is one template that we created. In the free version, you are not allowed to create more than one template, but they have given you some default templates which you can apply if you want to. So for example, this one, if I apply, it's going to look something like this. I don't know what it does, but you can just play around with this. So they have a bunch of templates which they have given just for beginners for getting started. I don't like to use others' templates. I like to create my own templates because they make much more sense to me. But you feel free to play around with these things and pick whatever you like. Now the next functionality here is the alerting functionality, and this is such an important functionality that we're going to make a separate video on how the alerting functionality works. So here, this is a screen. So let me just talk about it real quick. Here it is telling me that when TCS is crossing the value of a certain, by a certain amount, then what kind of a alert should you be getting? Should you get a pop-up alert? Should you get an email alert? Right? So this looks very simple, but trust me, it's a very, very, very sophisticated functionality. And that is why it deserves a separate video altogether. So we'll do that. But as of now, I will just create one quick alert, and the alert is done. Alert is created already. Now they're telling us that, there are limits to how many alerts we can create. So I already have an alert. So it's telling me that I cannot create one more. So that is the humble reminder we keep getting from TradingView that you're using the free version, not the paid version, because in the paid versions, you don't have all these limitations. Anyway, so the next one is a very exciting functionality, and this is available even in the free version, and that is the bar replay. Right, so when I click on this, so you will see that a little floating window opens up, right? And what this basically does, it gives us a way of going back into the past and replay these bars as they were happening, right? So what I can do is, for example, I can say that, okay, I want to replay these bars from, let's say, here, right? So from the 1st of May, I want this to play how the candlesticks were formed. And not only I can do this by going to the jump to, which is what we did here, we can also select the speed at which we want this to happen. Right? So when I'm going to click on play, so you can see that the candlesticks are formed. So now, and this is a very good functionality for beginners in my opinion, because when you look at the charts while they are being formed, you develop a better understanding of how you probably should have applied a certain strategy. So I will strongly recommend you to play around with this functionality. It's a very good functionality. So this is what is currently on autoplay. I can pause it if I want to, or what I can do is I can just go bar by bar, right? I can just go one bar. So this is like a manual control, and this is like an automatic control. Speed, if you want to reduce the speed, you can every 3 seconds or every 2 seconds, 1 second, or even you go faster. And when you click on this to real time, it will take you back to where you are right now. And if you want to come out of it, you just have to click close, right? So this is a good functionality. This is a great functionality, and I will strongly recommend you to play around with the replay feature. Now, if you have worked on any document, you know that how many times we make some mistakes. So for example, I closed this RSI in a window by mistake, right? So what they have given us is a functionality of undo. So when I click on this undo button, the RSI window comes back, right? So this is what basically this is undo and this is redo. So when I click on the redo, it will delete the RSI again. So I think it will come in handy when you are making some mistakes and you want to quickly go back to where you were earlier. Now this right here is a blank screen, so you don't have much to do here. Now what you have here is a layout, right? So how many charts can you see in one screen? So right now we are only seeing the chart of TCS in one screen. That is why we have one. But you have an option of seeing two charts at the same time, tiled vertically, or you have the option of tiling two charts horizontally, 3 charts, 4 charts, 5 charts, 6 charts, or 8 charts. So as part of the free version, we only have one chart per tab. So if I click on the 2 charts, I will get this humble reminder again that you have to go for the paid version. So as of now, we're going to stick to the 1 chart per tab. Now moving on. So what we have here is a layout. So layouts are basically the whole screen is a layout. And I can create new chart layouts. I can change the layouts. I can save the layouts by clicking on this cloud icon, so that next time when I'm coming to this screen, all the settings that I have done this time will be set as the same. However, there is again a limitation that in the free version, you can only have one layout. You cannot have multiple. So when I try to create a new chart layout, I will again get this message that you need to have a paid version. So moving on, now we have the next one we have is the chart settings. Now, this is again very comprehensive. What we'll do is we will combine this along with the chart setting icons that are on the left hand side. So we will not talk about them here right now. But apart from that, what you have here is a full screen mode. So let's say you want to go to full screen, you can go full screen. If you want to come out of the full screen, you can just go escape, click on the escape button, you are back. Now the last very interesting functionality that I want to cover as part of this video is a take snapshot functionality, right? So when I click on this little camera, I get this pop-up that this is the URL of the image. So let's say, for example, I want to share this image with my friend, and I copy this and I can just send them this link. So when they click on this link, this is what they will see, right? So they can see exactly what I am seeing right now. So this is taking a snapshot of what I was using and I was seeing. So you can share your screenshots, you can save the image, you can tweet it if you want to. So the idea behind this is, guys, very simple, that you take a snapshot and you can share it wherever you want. Alright guys, so what you have learned in this particular video is just the surface of what we have to cover as part of the TradingView application. It's a very powerful application and we have not even scratched the surface, right? So there is a lot more that we have to do, but we will only go further if we are getting the right encouragement from you guys. So I want you guys to comment, I want you guys to encourage us, I want you guys to like and give us feedback so that we know that you guys are listening, you want more. And if you want more, we will make it happen, right? So let's do this. Let's learn this powerful application and let's become better traders.